There is a huge burnished metal door erected by the first that is heavy as sin, 3 times the height of a man and half that distance in width. It is a full cubit thick and bears a head-size ring of brass, a complicated pressure plate lock, and an inscription that reads roughly, "Go away. This is not a place to be. If you try to enter here, you will fail and also be cursed. If somehow you succeed, then do not complain that you entered unwarned, nor bother us with your deathbed prayers. Signed, the Gods." Recapping, the party was at the end of room D by the large pool of red water that looks like blood. So they cross room D past the large column statue and then go down the hallway past room C and up another passageway till they get to the fork where it heads towards room E. So they continue down the crooked passage to the entrance to room E. Room E is a little bit smaller than a football field. It's or a soccer field. It's a fairly large room, and it is covered with bones. There's all kinds of skulls and arm bones and hands and fingers and all over the room. They slowly walk into this massive room just covered with bones. And as they slowly approach, if they're very perceptive, they will notice some lines on the room floor. But the scale of this is so massive that it's hard to tell what the lines are. And they may not even notice them because the lines are often covered with bones. What they're seeing is a large pentagram in the floor of the room. And as they cross the pentagram into the pentagram, what happens is at the 5 apexes of the pentagram, suddenly and quietly, the bones coagulate into a skeleton. And the skeleton stands up, picks up a fibia, or a large leg bone, shall we just say, and reaches down and pulls up a drum and starts to beat. Now, this room is so large that and this happens almost silently. They may hear a little clicking as the bones come together. And then, as one, there are 5 skeletons. They start a drum beat, very slow. And as the drums beat, more and more skeletons start to click together. So the party may notice that they start seeing some subtle movement in the floor with all these bones. And slowly and quietly, almost silently, 50 skeletons assemble. So the party is surrounded on all sides. You've got however many members in your party. You've got 50 skeletons that come to attack the party. They pull out swords. And the interesting thing is the drum beats. You hear the thump, 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 as the beaters beat their drums and the skeletons move in lockstep toward the party, closing in on the party. So now a pitched battle ensues. 50 skeletons is a large number of skeletons for most parties of average size, and even a larger size. If you're going to bring in 10 characters, or a main character and 9 henchmen or whatever, or followers, you could still be outnumbered significantly by the skeletons. And the skeletons come in and attack from all sides, so you can't have this narrow defense in the hallway or whatever. You've got to defend against attacks on all sides. And after the final pitched battle, or if they actually notice the drummers and they attack the drummers, each drummer is going to beat the drum, and that animates the 10 skeletons. So if you are able to take out the drummers, but that's a little bit harder because they're in at the far corners of the room, or not really corners, but they're on the outskirts of the room, and only when you attack them directly will the other skeletons turn to defend. They will try and defend the drummer, but most of the time they're attacking the party. So you've got these drummers, and if you finally defeat them, you'll find that there's this drum, and the drum appears to be it's structured out of bone with a skin covering it, and there's human skin. All 5 drums have the drum top is actually made of human skin, and they're an animation. Now, they are magical items. They can animate up to 10 skeletons, the drums. And the pentagram is what triggers the animation of the drummers. So the party they find some of this. Each skeleton has a small amulet as you defeat them and destroy them. What the amulet really is it's one of the silver coins in Hellwell, which I talked about in a previous. They're a little bit smaller but thicker coins than your normal silver coin, and they're slightly magical because they never tarnish and they don't melt easily. So you have to melt them at a higher temperature because nobody will take them. These are cursed. It's blasphemy to possess one of these coins. So, yeah, that brings up interesting questions. Why would a party come into this place? But and they were warned never to come in here, but they do. So you've killed off, and you collect 50 silver coins plus the magical drums. So you've got that. And then you've got this large pentagram inscribed into the floor, and at the corners, at the apex of each of them, there's a small hidden chamber, if you see, which is where the drums were. That the drummers, when they assembled, and they reach down and pull out of this small chamber. It's not hidden. It's just, so we say, obscured by the dust and the dirt and the grime of this massive room. So the party is searched through this. They found them. And the question is what do they do with these magical drums? Do they destroy them? Because, again, they are cursed objects, and they are animation of skeletons. Now, you have to have a complete enough skeleton for them to animate. And that's a interesting question of what the party does with all these interesting items that they find in Hellwell. So thank you. I look forward to learning what you think about this video. Do you like this style of video? Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I appreciate both. If you're new here and want to subscribe, There's an icon that you can click that's on the left, or on the right, there's links to 2 other pieces of content. Thank you.